Is this like a Back to the Future thing?
Hey! What's up, my peoples? EmGo here, the freaking geek himself, and today we will be reviewing the Transformers Timelines Hearts of Steel, Optimus Prime, and Starscream. So here we are, and there they are, and first and foremost, as always, we'll take a quick look at the packaging. Right up front here, we have some lovely artwork of Screamer and Prime, Transformers, on this side Autobot symbol, on this side Decepticon symbol, on top things and stuff, on the bottom stuff and things, and on the back we get some obligatory product shots, but that's not all, because this is just a slip cover here. If you remove that, and we have Autobot symbol, Decepticon symbol. It looks like a big old, like, you know, steampunk chest or trunk or whatever. Open it up, and in here is where the figures lie. Transformers, and some Cybertronian writing that I don't know what it says. Hi, how are you? And that's basically it for the packaging. Then, moving right along, here we have the 2-pack of the Timelines Hearts of Steel, Optimus Prime and Starscream. And here they are in their robot modes. They are packed in robot mode. And, yeah, very cool little 2-pack here. Two very nicely done little figures, in my opinion. But we're going to take a look at these individually. So, let's start off with the Screamer. So here we have Screamer, and again, he is based on the Hearts of Steel design, and yeah, pretty nice little Screamer here, but let's get in close so we can take a look, not at the crotch, noggin, whoop, there it is. So, pretty nice head sculpt. You can see there, silver on the face, nice red for the eyes. His head is kind of, kind of buried in there, so it's kind of hard to move it around, but still a pretty nice Screamy head sculpt there. You see the little side pieces kind of exaggerated there. He does have a little kind of canopy bit over his head. You can leave that up if you want. If you don't like this, you can always just collapse it down onto his back. Make him look a little cleaner. That's the way he's packed. But hey, as always, your toy, display it however you wish. But officially, this should be up over his head. And you kind of have this little fin up, down. Again, do what you want there. But moving on down the body, and so we got a little spinny action right there on the chest. Some nice little gold paint apps here and there. And the rest is the usual Screamer paint scheme. With some nice detail. Lots of nice detail here on the inside of the legs. Got some very spiky shoes. And heelys. And booties. And not really much of a backpack to speak of. Overall, pretty clean, all things considered. But yeah, there's Screamer. Now, articulation-wise, what have we got? You shall be informed. So, the head can rotate. Can do a full 360. Again, it's kind of hard to get him moving because, there's a lot surrounding his head. But the arms can also rotate. They could do a full 360, but the wings totally get in the way, so that's not happening. But you do have inward and outward movement. These shoulder pads also move independently, so you can have those sitting up if you want to. Again, totally up to you what you want to do. Your toy display however you wish. You have rotation right there at the elbow. You have 90 degrees of bend at the elbow. You have like a little ratcheting joint there as well, which is quite nice. Nothing at the wrists, unfortunately. As far as the waist goes, you have nothing at the waist either, just due to the way he transforms. There's no waist rotation. But you can move this crotch plate out of the way, so the legs can move forward. You can get things out of the way here. Move forward about that far, move back about that far. You can move this out of the way. Outward, he can do the full splits. You got thigh rotation. 90 degrees of bend there at the knee. As far as the feet, they can move up a little bit. They can move down a lot. And you do get ankle tiltage. Now, as far as accessories go, we get a pair of steampunk null rays here. Gotta look more like Gatling guns, but pretty cool little design there. We just get 2 of those, and that is everything you get with Screamer. And of course, Starscream can wield his weapons. You can plug them into his hands if you want. You can hold him as handheld weapons, but of course they should be on his arms, because that's just where Screamer's weapons go. They go on his arms. Like so, and he can pew pew bang bang, and all of that good stuff. And are the weapons Bloosh compatible? No. They are not. There is a nub there, but there's nowhere near enough meat for that to hold on to. It's not happening. I don't even think this. Maybe that does hold. It holds. It's not as dramatic, but it holds. I mean, it's just, yeah, no. It's there, but it's not exactly stable. It's just, we're going to call that a no. Just a no. So there you have that. And now for comparison. Here he is with Earthrise Screamer. So you can see how that works out. And here he is with the Mastermind Creations version of Hearts of Steel Starscream. So you can see how that looks. So, there you go. So that is basically it for the... Hi. So that is basically it for the robot mode. So let's get down to transformation, shall we? Let's... The first thing we're going to do is we're going to take this section here, bring that down, and just collapse that down on its back. Yeah, you can leave this fin up, bring it down, do what you want. I don't care. So after you've done that, you're going to take the crotch, just bring this up and bring up this entire chest assembly, and it'll just tab in right up here. Lock that into place, and then you can just bring the crotch plate down, and that will cover up his face. And now you want to take the forearms, just rotate them in, you're going to bring them down, there's a tab that will go into this slot right there, so just bring that down, tab that in, then you just take the weapons and rotate them around, so they'll be facing forward. These little shoulder pads, make sure these stay up, so those little grates are facing forward, and second verse just like the first, so rotate that, bring that down, tab it in, swing this around, make sure that shoulder pad stays up, and you got it looking like that. Next, we want to take the side skirt pieces, and you just want to bring this up. So panels here will untab on either side. You got to bring them up, and they will peg in right there. So line that up, peg that in, bring that up, line that up, and peg that in. And now we have us a Starscream mode, but we need to work on the lower body now. So what you're going to do is you're going to take the lower body section, you're going to bring it down. It does kind of thoop in places, so bring it down that one thoop. And you want to take this section and just kind of bring that back, get that out of the way. You want to bring the legs up. And you have these tabs here, they're going to go into these slots right there. So just line it up and just get those tabbed in, so it's all lined up like that. Once you've done that, you want to bring the legs out, rotate them, bring that out, rotate, and then bend the knee, flip in the foot, and then you bring this up, and this will tab in right up in here. So just, I'm going to bring this down the rest of the way, because that'll help you get all that lined up. And get that tabbed in on the one side, get that tabbed in on the other side. Get that all nice and squozen. Take the wingtips here and flip those out. And there you go. There you have Hearts of Steel Starscream in his alt mode. There he is. Ah, he's just a cool little bat biplane looking thing. Again, you can leave that fin up if you want to. Do what you want. Oh no, pretty cool. Comes together pretty nicely, but let's get in close so we can take a look at some of the details. Granted, there's not much new to look at. It's all just kind of him in a kind of a really weird yoga pose, but hey, it works out. You got spinny bits, more spinny bits, lots of spinny bits. Got some bat wings going on there. But, oh no, not too shabby. I do wish these propellers, the rotors, were painted. That would have been nice. Just give it a little differentiation there in color as well as this, but you know. All in all though, it doesn't look too bad. You got some silver on this top panel right here. There's the back. You do have his hands just kind of hanging out the back there. I know, it is what it is. But there is the top. There is the bottom. He does have rolling wheels, two here, one back here, so he can roll as flying things should. Hooray for rolling, flying things. And for comparison, here he is with Earthrise Screamer, just so you can see what's going on there. Whoosh, And here he is with the MMC version. So you can see how that works out. I do like the alt mode on this one better just because it's a little bit more compact. Again, that's just a personal preference thing, to each their own. But there you go, and that is it for Screamer. So now let's move on to the prime time. And last but certainly not least, here we have Prime, again based on the Hearts of Steel design. And yeah, quite nice looking Prime here. Nice little Prime choo-choo going on there. But let's get in close so we can take a look. Not at the crotch. No, again, there it is. But very nice head sculpt here. Got some nice detail. You got some rivets going on in there. Nice silver there for the mouth plate. Nice blue for the eyes. Got some silver there on the head crest as well. But yeah, very nice. Okay, you got that gold paint on the chest. Autobot symbol front and center. Some nice silver bits as well. Got the little exhaust there, picked out in gold. And you see the hands are painted in a nice metallic blue. Overall, pretty nice. Little feeties. And the Prime booty. Just a little back panel there, but no real backpack to speak of. And everything's pretty well closed up. Not a whole lot of hollow spots. Just got a little bit of hollow spots right up there. A little bit right in there. That's visible anyway. But overall, it's actually pretty solid. Now, articulation-wise, what have we got? I'm going to tell you. So the head is on the ball joints. You get all kinds of wiggly-waggly going on. He can look up a good bit, do total squirrel. Head can look down, can do a full 360. Arms can do a full 360, can move in and out. The shoulders can move back. It's more for transformation, but they can move back if you need them to move back. You got bicep rotation. You have a single-jointed elbow, but you get good range of movement out of it. There's no wrist rotation. This is all just one solid piece, so no wrist rotation there. You do have waist rotation. You can move these out of the way, so legs can move forward that far, back that far, outward. You get the full splits. You do get thigh rotation. Single jointed knee, but you get good range of movement there, over 90 degrees. And as far as the feet, they can move up, they can move down some, and you have your ankle tiltage. Now, as far as accessories go, we get his blaster, just cast in black, and this also doubles as the smokestack for the train mode. And you also get this panel here. Now, this serves as the top of the train mode, but can also double as a shield. Done in a nice blue, Autobot symbol right there. And that is what you get with Prime. Now, as far as this section goes, you can mount this a couple of different ways. You can just mount it right onto his forearm, like that, have that going on. You can even have him, you know, like holding it in his hand in this way. You can have that going on as well. Or, you can see here you have these raised bits, and this is meant to go over this section right here. So you just line that up, and just plug that in like that, and he can hold it thusly. Things you can do if you want to do it. Options, they're good. And of course you can give him his blaster, and he can pew pew bang bang, pew pew bang bang, and all of that good stuff. And unfortunately, the blaster is not Blush compatible. It don't go at all, so no. No blushing to be had here, unfortunately. So there you have that, and now for comparison. Here he is with Earthrise Prime. As you can get a sense of scale here, and here he is with 86 Prime. Again, just you can get a sense of size here between the two. And here he is with the Mastermind Creations version of Hearts of Steel Prime. Just so you can see how they look together. And they are definitely night and day, as in very dark colors and very bright colors, but there you go. So that is basically it for the robot mode, so let's get down to transformation, shall we? Let's. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to rotate the arms in and then collapse them up. Rotate. And collapse. Once we have done that, we're going to come back here. We're going to take this entire head, back, shoulder assembly. We want to bring the shoulders back a little bit just so they clear those tabs. We're going to take all this and we're going to bring it down. It's on a double hinge. Just bring it back and down so it's sitting like that. Then you're going to take this red panel and just flip this under. Then you're going to take this panel with this head and bring this back so it's sitting like that. And then you're going to take all this and fold that up, bring that up. That'll just tab in right up there, like so. And then you just rotate the arms, bring them together. There's a tab right here that'll go into little notches, and you have tab slot connections right here for the arms. Just bring all that together and get that tabbed in. Get it squozen. There are also little tab slot connections that happen right in here, so make sure you get those lined up. So everything is sitting flush on either side, and you got it looking like that. And we kind of have a train mode going on here, but now we're going to take the these crotch panels here. So there are tabs on the back of them. They're going to go into this little notch right here. So just get them both in here. Just get them pushed in. It'll be a little hard to get them lined up because it's not enough room for them in there, but you can kind of get them lined up like so. And now we'll work on the legular region. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take this red section, we're going to bring this down and then bring it back. We're going to take the foot and just rotate it in, and then we're going to take the leg and collapse it in on that double hinge. So it's looking like that. Second verse, just like the first. So open that up, bring that out, slip in the feet, collapse the leg, and you got that ready to go. So here's kind of a tricky part, but you can do it if you just have the right method here. So you have a tab that's going to go into this little notch right here in this black section. And then you have a tab here that's going to end up going into this slot right there behind that knee joint. So what you want to do is you want to just rotate this section out a little bit and just bring this straight up, and that tab will go right where it needs to go. And then you want to hold this panel here to support it, because if not, it'll kind of move in on you. So hold this to support it, and then you can kind of take that piece and swing that in, and there you got that sitting nice and flush. And second verse is just like the first. So again, just bring that out a little bit, get that lined up, and again, just support it and get that lined up. It's easier to do one side than the other, but it's just a matter of getting it sitting just so. There we go. You should have both sides lined up. And once you've done that, you got tab slots here, tab slots up here. So just push all that together, and you should have everything sitting nice and flush on the sides there. And the last couple things we need to do is we need to bring in this panel, and you have this section here. It's going to go into these two notches. So you just bring that down, sit that like so. Then you bring in the blaster. You just open it up, flip in the barrel, close that back up, and that'll just tab into these two slots right up here. Tab that in, and there you go. There you have Prime in his choo-choo mode. Good spin out of him too. But there is Prime in his alt mode, and he's a nice little primey choo-choo. It's very Fisher-Pricey looking, you know. Yeah, it's very Fisher-Pricey looking, but you know, I could see somebody totally making a Tom's to Take engine face to stick onto the front of this, because it's pretty much what it looks like. But you know, it comes together nicely though. Well, nicely for the most part. This top panel on my copy anyway, for some reason, doesn't like to stay down. It always wants to pop itself back up, and it just, yeah, this panel right here likes to be a pain in the butt and not stay down. I don't know if it's just maybe a bit of mold flash somewhere that maybe I didn't notice or what, but it just doesn't like to stay down for me. But all in all, though, for the most part, it comes together pretty solidly. But yeah, let's get in close so we can take a look at the details. This is all stuff we've seen already, but worth a second look. Again, all comes together pretty nice. And you have the back there. Oh, make sure that stays all closed up, nice and squozen. Yeah. There's the top, there is the bottom. He does have 5 rolling wheels. These wheels in the center are faux wheels. These don't roll, but this rolls, that rolls. Center one right here rolls. So he can roll as rolling things should. Hooray for rolling Primey choo-choos. And for comparison, here he is with Earthrise Prime with 86 Prime. And with the MMC version. Now, granted, the MMC version is, you know, a more, fuller train mode than the, you know, little very condensed version of the official, but still, you can see how those two scale against one another. So, there you go. So there you have the Hearts of Steel, Optimus Prime, and Starscream, and yeah, it's a fun little set. If you're into the Hearts of Steel designs, then this is definitely something for you. Both the figures are fun. They do look good in both of their modes. I do have an issue with my Prime with that top panel. Just, it doesn't want to sit flush for whatever reason. Now, I do feel this set is a little overpriced, considering you're basically buying 2 deluxes. You know, I guess the extra money is paying for the fancy packaging, but, you know, it is what it is. But all in all, though, all things considered, I think it's a fun set here, so there you go. Now, I picked this up from Hasbro Pulse. I'll put a link to their site in the description down below so you can check that out. And I think that's it. So don't forget to check out EmGo's, check out Love, Peace, Paranormal. Follow me on Twitter, all of that good stuff down in the description below. And I think that's pretty much all there is to say. So there is the Transformers Timelines, Hearts of Steel, Optimus Prime, and Starscream. And this is EmGo saying, remember, you don't stop playing because you grow old. You grow old because you stop playing. Be geek. Be proud. Palm in your face. So, Optimus Prime, we meet again.
Starscream? Really? Where's Megatron?
Who cares about Megatron? I am your opponent.
Okay, but I mean, you're just a lackey. I mean, you know, this is just gonna be too easy.
Too easy? I'm insulted. I am just as formidable, if not more so, than Megatron. I have levels of might that you cannot possibly...
See? Easy.